To access the preset pack, we will open the File Explorer, and then we will click on this PC, C drive, and MirrorMe Booth folder. As you can see, the preset pack contains all kinds of different folders which you can use within your software. For example, we have here the animations folder. As you can see, we have a grand selection of animations, all divided to different categories in different folders. For example, we have here before photo animations and countdown animations, preview animations, touch to start, and more. Another folder that we have here is the games folder. The games are interactive animations that you can load to your workflow. For example, we have here the ping pong game and shell game and tic-tac-toe, connect the dots, 3, 4, and 5. And another folder that we have here is the overlays folder. As you can see, we have a grand selection of overlays as well that we created for you. You can use them to design your photos. You can create overlays of your own, of course, and load them to the software. All of those XML files that we have here are the presets that you will see in the options menu in the software. Welcome to the MirrorMe software. When we will open the software, the Presets tab is the first tab that we will see. So let's see what we have here. Selected event. An event is a folder in which files you're creating using the software, like photos, GIFs, and videos, are saved. If my selected event is my first event, my files will be saved in a folder under the same name in the preset pack in the events folder. Let's see it for a moment. To minimize the software window, I will press Ctrl F on my keyboard. Ctrl F is to get in and out of full screen mode, and you can find the full keyboard shortcuts list in your user manual. So let's open the preset pack. And you can see here that I have a folder called Events. We can see here my first event folder, which is the same selected event here in the software. Means that my files will be saved here. If I would like to save my files in a different folder, I can simply create a new one, pressing here on the Add New button. I will give my new event a name. I will call it Training and press Add. You can see that once I did that, a new folder called Training was created automatically in my Events folder in the preset pack. Means that now that the Training event is my selected event in the software, all of my files will be saved here. Let's go back to the software, pressing Ctrl F to go back to full screen mode. And our next step will be to select a preset. First of all, I would like to show you that each preset has its own workflow. This is how the workflow tab looks like, and we will learn how to read it, of course. Each preset also has photo layout, which is the design of our final photo, and also features settings. If I will now select a different preset, you can see that it has a completely different workflow, a different layout as well, different design, and the feature settings will be different according to my workflow. But how do we know which preset to select? So first of all, PhotoMaster provides over 180 presets in the preset pack ready to use. The next thing that we have here is the Duplicate Preset button. This button allows us to create a copy of a certain preset. It's ideal if you want to edit an existing preset without having to create a new one from scratch and without overriding the original one. So for example, I will now select the birthday 3 preset and I will click here, duplicate preset. I will give my duplicated preset a name. I chose to call it a training and press add. Preset saved successfully, press OK. And you can see here now that I have both the original preset, birthday 3, and the duplicated preset, a training. So now I can apply any changes that I want here without overriding or change anything in my original birthday 3 preset. Pressing here on the Add Preset button will allow me to create a new preset file with an empty workflow and an empty photo layout. Means I will have to create that preset from ground up. So I will press now Add Preset. I will call it a new preset and press Add. And you can see here that I have a new preset file. There is no thumbnail loaded yet. The workflow is empty and the photo layout is empty, of course. The preset thumb that you see here is a photo file that means to represent your preset preview. In the preset pack provided by PhotoMaster, we provided over 180 presets ready to go, and for each preset we also loaded a thumbnail. You can see here the directory of that thumbnail. It is located in your C drive MirrorMe Booth thumbnails folder, and this is the name of the thumbnail file. The thumbnail provided by PhotoMaster represents the overlay that is loaded in the Photo Layout tab, and the icons that you can see in the center of each thumbnail represent the features in the workflow. In the user manual, you can find a list of all of those icons and their meanings. For example, we can see here that we have the sign or drawn final photo icon, the animations with the voiceover, LED ring feature, etc. Note that when changing the photo layout design, it does not change the thumbnail file automatically, as this is a separate photo file. If you want to remove a thumbnail, you can click here on the X button, and if you want to load a different thumbnail, a different photo file, you can press here on the 3 dots button, and you can browse any photo that you'd like from your computer. Let's continue to the Workflow tab. For the tutorial, I will use my duplicated preset, a training. So we already know this is a one photo preset with signature feature. Let's check the Workflow tab. So the Workflow tab is built up from states. Each line here is called a state, and we have 2 basic types of states, animation and feature. Once I will hit here, Start Preset, the workflow will be presented on my screen according to the order of the states, from the top to the bottom. Wherever I have an animation state, an animation will be presented on my screen. Whenever I have a feature state in my workflow, it will be either the software taking an action or the software presenting us with a screen to take an action. For example, with the DSLR photo feature, it will be the software taking the photo using your DSLR camera. But with the signature feature, it will present us with a screen where we will be able to sign and draw. So let's start to read our workflow. Our first state here is an animation state with the animation touch the cake to start. How do I know how this animation looks like? So, as we already know, we have the animations folder in our preset pack. If I will press Ctrl Space on my keyboard, I will be able to see the full animation path. We see its C drive, Mirror Me Booth, our preset pack, animations folder, touch to start category, and then touch the cake to start. I can expand this window if I want, and press Ctrl Space to present only the file name. And now let's go to the preset pack, to the touch here to start category, and that way we can preview our animation. So in order to preview the touch the cake to start animation, I will right click on it, open with, and I will choose to open with Internet Explorer. And here is a preview of my animation. Same way, I can preview any other animation, for example, touch here to start flowers. There you go. So if I would like to replace the cake animation with the flowers touch here to start animation, I can either press here, X, and then no animation will be loaded here. And I can press here on the three dots button, and then I will browse the animation from my preset pack. So we are already in Mirror Me Booth, Animations. Scroll down to touch to start, and here I can select any of the animations that I would like to use. You can also preview the animations from here, by the way. Press open, and you can see that touch here to start flowers animation was loaded instead of the cake animation. With any change that you're doing in your preset, whether if it's in the workflow, the layout, or any other tab, you need to press here on the save button. See this pop-up preset save successfully, and press OK. You don't have to save after every little change that you're doing. Just remember not to exit a software or select a different preset before saving. Now I would like this animation to be presented on my screen until I will touch the screen in order to continue with the workflow. So I will select this animation's next state trigger to be touch. After I will touch the screen, the workflow will continue to state number 2. As you can see, this is also an animation state, says smile for cake. And as from this point on, I would like the workflow to continue automatically, I will set my next state trigger for this animation to be time. The time is typed in milliseconds. Every 1000 milliseconds are 1 second only. As you can see, smile for cake animation will be presented on my screen for 5 seconds, and then the workflow will continue. For the timed animations provided by PhotoMaster, we included the time at the end of each file's name, and the next state trigger and the amount of milliseconds will be loaded automatically. My next state is also an animation state with countdown, birthday themed. Also will be presented for 5 seconds, so my countdown will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Once this animation is over, the workflow will continue to state number 4. This is our first feature state, DSLR photo. At that point, the software will use the camera in order to take one DSLR photo. After the photo was taken, the workflow will continue to the next state, says happy birthday. After that, we have another animation that invites us to sign on the mirror. And then we have our second feature state, signature. At that point, we will be presented with the signature screen where we will be able to draw and add our stamps. Once we're done, we will be presented with the preview of our final photo. It will look like our photo layout here, but with the actual photo that was taken and the signature that we drew. After that, we will have this important feature state, save final photo. Without that state, our final photo will not be saved in our event folder. Important to mention that if your workflow will not have this state, the software will also notify you on this, but you need to make sure that in the Features tab, Save Final Photo section, the Alert when Save Photo is Missing box is checked. Let's go back to the Workflow tab. So after the software is saving our final photo, we will be presented with another animation asking how many copies we would like to print, and then we will be presented with the Print Copies screen where we will be able to select how many copies we would like to print. And then we have our final animation, the mirror is printing your photos, and then the workflow is over and it will restart, going back to animation number 1. Now I would like to show you how you can easily create your own thumbnail for your photo layout. As I mentioned in the beginning of this tutorial, the photo layout will not affect, and now I will load my new thumbnail here in Preset Thumb. Press on the 3 dots button. Let's go to MirrorMe Booth Thumbnails. My thumb, press open, and there you go. There is my custom thumbnail that I created using Windows Snipping Tool. Now that my preset has ended, I would like to present the options menu. So I will press Ctrl-O on my keyboard. As you understand, the workflow is customizable. We already know how we can replace an existing animation. If you want to add a new state, any kind of state, you need to press here on the Add State button. Once the animation has been added, you can select the type of state that you would like to add. I will choose to add the email feature, so my guests will be able to email themselves the photo. And as I would like them to email at the end of the workflow, I will drag the animation to the bottom of my workflow, like so. If you want to delete an animation, you simply click on it, so it will be highlighted in blue, and press delete on your keyboard. What else can we do with our workflow? We can copy and paste states. For example, if I would like to copy state number 12, I will click on it, press Ctrl-C to copy, and Ctrl-V to paste. I can also copy and paste multiple states. For example, if I want to copy states number 10, 11, and 12, I will click on state number 10, hold the Shift button on my keyboard, select state number 11, state number 12, and then I will release the Shift button, press Ctrl C to copy, and press Ctrl V to add. And you can see that all of the 3 states that I selected were added. Same thing, I can delete those. Selected them all and pressed delete on the keyboard. A new cool feature in version 9 is state coloring. You can use state coloring to create a colorful distinction between states to help you edit the workflow. You can choose between none if you don't want coloring on your workflow at all. You can select type coloring that will color the workflow according to the type of the state. You can see that all of the animation states are green and the feature states are yellow. And you can select full coloring. Full coloring will color each feature with its own distinctive color. We can replace back to none for now. And now I would like to show you the random animation feature. So if you want to use one preset yet have your guests to experience a different animation each time, you can set a random animation list state. For example, if you want to present a different touch to start animation, select the type of state here to be random animation and press here on the 3 dots button and create the list of your animations. I will add 3, pressing on the Add Animation button. Select the animations you want to add. Don't forget to add the next state trigger for each animation. And press done. You can add as many states as you'd like, of course, and then we'll press save. And from now on, each time I will start my preset, a different touch here to start animation will be presented. Another feature you can apply on your workflow is the Show Retake button. You can do that on the final photo preview or on the last raw photo preview by checking and unchecking this box. If we're choosing to use the retake option, we need to select how many states the workflow should go back in case we choose to retake the photo. So if I want to restart from the countdown, I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states back. Changing here the number to 5. Press save. And next time my workflow will be presented on the screen, I will be able to select if I want to retake the photo and go back 5 states, or to continue. For any feature that you have in your workflow, you can check or change its settings in the same section under the Features tab. Let's take a few features from our workflow for the demonstration. For example, the Print Copies feature. Let's say that I want to limit my guests with the number of copies they are able to print per session. So I will go to the Features tab, Print Copies section, and here I can change the maximum copies per session, and I will limit my guests to 3. And I will press save. Another feature, for example, preview final photo. Our final photo preview was presented on the screen for 4 seconds. Now I want to change the time to be 6 seconds. So I will go to the Features tab, Preview Final Photo, and I will change the preview time to 6 milliseconds. Again, every 1000 milliseconds are 1 second only. So 6000 milliseconds are 6 seconds in total. And it's the same idea for any other feature that you have in your workflow. Simply search for the matching section in the Features tab and change the settings. The Photo Layout tab. In the Photo Layout tab, we can design our final photo. The photo layout is built up with layers. You can see how I'm moving the different layers here and how they are lying one on the top of the other. All of those elements are also presented on this list on the left side. And the basic idea that you need to remember and understand is that the element at the top of the list is the element that will be at the most bottom on the visual editor, and vice versa. So, for example, if I would like my DSLR photo element to be presented on the top of everything else, I will drag it to the bottom of my list. As you can see, we have 4 elements here on the list on the left side. 2 of those elements are colored: our DSLR photo and our signature. Those 2 are colored because those 2 are visual features in our workflow. Once we added DSLR photo feature and signature feature, those 2 elements were added here automatically. If I will try to delete an element from here, the software will also notify me on that, and I will need to delete one of those features from the workflow. We have here 2 more photos. One is the overlay, and one is the PhotoMaster logo. But how do I know which one is which? So first of all, let's pay attention to the fact that each element here has left, top, width, height, and angle value. The left and top value marks the location of the elements on our visual editor. You can see what happens when I'm moving the PhotoMaster logo around, and you can see that our second photo state, top and left values, are changing. So this is one way to know that this is my PhotoMaster logo and that this is my overlay. Another way to know is using the width and the height values. You can see if I will rearrange my photo layout and place everything back the way it was, you can see that I have my overlay matching my photo layout borders exactly on the right and on the left side. You can see that my layout width and height has the same width and height values as my overlay file, 1200 by 1800. That is for a 4x6 postcard. A quick tip: if you want to make sure that your overlay is exactly centered on your photo layout, as long as the width and height values are matching the layout width and height values, you can type in top and left 0 and 0, and the overlay will be self-centered. If I want to delete the PhotoMaster logo, I will click on the state and press delete on my keyboard. If I want to add my own logo, I will click here on the Photo Plus icon, and I will browse my logo from anywhere on my computer. Press open, and I can place it anywhere that I want using my cursor. Simply drag and drop. If I want to change my overlay, I can either delete this state and add another photo, or I can just replace the existing one, pressing on the 3 dots button in image file again, and I will now go to the overlays folder, and I will select the bubbles one, for example, and press open. Now you can see that I need to scale my elements. Let's start with a DSLR photo. So in order to change the elements size, I can use my cursor and the little squares on the corners. I can also change the width and height values here, pressing on the arrows up or down. And I can of course type an exact number. I can move the element around, right, left, up and down, using the keyboard arrows, by changing the left and top values, or simply drag and drop with my cursor. Same thing I will do for my signature. I will place it here, enlarge it a little bit. If you want to change the angle of any of your elements, use the outer square right here with the cursor. You can change its angle, and you can also do that by changing the angle value here, and again typing an exact number is fine as well. If you want to add a text to your photo layout, press here on the T+ icon, and a new text box will be added here. And in order to edit the text, click here on the 3 dots button, and you can write here whatever you want. Change the color, change the text size, change the font, and you can place the text wherever you would like. If you want to delete the text, click on the state with the T icon and press delete on the keyboard. While working with the visual editor, you can also use the Ctrl-Z and Ctrl-Y to undo and redo changes. Now I would like to show you how you can create a new preset from scratch. I will show you how to create a basic preset. So we already know how to add a new preset. Simply click here, Add Preset, give your preset a name, and it will be added here. Empty thumbnail, empty workflow, and empty photo layout. So I will add my first state. It will be touch to start animation. I will select touch here to start arcade and select my next state trigger to be touch. Now I will add another animation state, and I will add an animation from the before photo category. Say cheese. And now I will add 3 states. There will all be animations. And I will load here the numbers for my countdown. I'm already in the countdown category here. So let's select 3, 2, and 1. You have many options here, as you see. You can select whatever you'd like. As you can see, the timing was loaded automatically according to the timing in the animations file name. Now I will add my first feature state for the DSLR photo. I will add another state that will present a complement animation. Oh, you pretty thing. And now I will present another animation to invite my guests to sign and draw on their screen. Get ready to draw on your photos animation. I will add another feature of signature. Now I would like to show the preview of my final photo. I will add another feature to save the final photo to my events folder. And now I will add another animation. I will invite my guests to select how many copies they would like to print. And we will also add the print copies feature. Adding another final animation. The printer is printing our photos. Press save. And my workflow is ready. The next step will be to design my photo layout. So we already have here the DSLR photo element and the signature element. You remember that when I created the new preset, this screen was empty, but these 2 elements were added automatically to my photo layout once I added those 2 features to my workflow. I would like to create a portrait photo layout. So my layout width and height is already in portrait resolution, 1200 by 1800 pixels. I already know that my camera is mounted in 270 degrees, so I can simply change the angle here. And now I will add my overlay. I will click here on the Photo Plus icon. Let's go to our preset pack, overlays, and let's select this overlay. Press open. Now I will scale my DSLR element to be the right size. Let's enlarge the signature a bit and place it here. I would also like to add a text. Clicking on the three dots button. And that's it. My photo layout is ready. Now I would like to show you how you can easily create your own thumbnail for your photo layout. As I mentioned in the beginning of this tutorial, the photo layout will not affect your preset thumb presentation in any way, as those are two separate files. Let's go back to the photo layout. Windows has a great tool called Snipping Tool. Using that tool, I can capture any part of the screen that I want. Click here, New, and select the part of the screen you would like to capture. We have it here. And now we will save this file in two locations in our preset pack. In both thumbnails and thumbnails large folder. I will call it my thumb. Save it in the thumbnails folder, and I will also save it in thumbnails large. Once I did that, I will go back to the Presets tab. As I don't have my DSLR camera connected to the computer right now, we will view this preset on test mode. I will hit Start Preset, and the software alerts me that my DSLR camera is not connected, asks me if I want to check my workflow using test mode. I will press yes. Touch to start. Now I would like to show you how you can simply change a one photo preset to a 3-photo preset. This is very simple. You remember that once we added the DSLR photo state, a DSLR photo element was added automatically to our photo layout. Means that for a 3-photo presets, we will need 3 DSLR photo feature states. Of course, before each DSLR photo state, I would like to use a countdown. The easiest way will be to select all 4 states, copy, and paste. One more time. and save. Of course, after every DSLR photo, I can add more animations for complement. And if I want to change my countdown animation to present a different one each time, it's of course possible as well. I will select the balloons this time. And for my third countdown, I will select heart. So now that I added 2 more countdowns and 2 more DSLR photo states, I can go to my photo layout, and I have here 3 DSLR photos in total. Now I will delete the text and the overlay, as I need to load a new one, and I will change my layout to be horizontal. I will simply reverse the values here. I will now add a new overlay for 3 photos. And I will place my photos here. First, I will make sure that one photo element is in the right size for me. And now I will type the same width and height values for the other 2 photos. And I will also give them the same top value, so they will be on the same line. I will place the overlay on the top of the photos. The signature will be placed here. Save. And that's it. Now I have a 3 photo preset. Now I would like to show you a very cool option that you can add to your photo layout, and this is the Dynamic Overlays feature. This feature allows us to select which overlay we would like to apply on the final photo before printing it. First, we need to prepare a folder that contains our overlays selection. So let's go back to our preset pack. In the overlays folder, dynamic category, we already made a few dynamic overlays folders for you. You can of course create folders of your own or change these folders' content. I am using now one horizontal photo preset, so I will go for this folder. This folder contains 3 horizontal overlays for one photo. Going back to the software, to the Photo Layout tab, I will delete the existing overlay, pressing on the photo state and pressing delete on my keyboard. And instead of adding a new photo, I will add an entire folder, my Dynamic Overlays folder. Select folder, and let's adjust my DSLR photo and save. Now, I will start my preset, again on test mode, and I will show you the final preview immediately. And now we can swipe from left to right and select which overlay we would like to apply from the folder that we created. In the Presets tab, we can enable the Multi-Presets Selection feature. It allows us to work with several presets in a sequence throughout a single event. First of all, we will check this box, Enable Multi-Preset Selection. Here we already have several folders that we created in advance. Each folder contains several presets. Now I will show you how you can create your own multi-presets folder. So first of all, we will click here, Add Presets folder. And a new folder was created here. I will click on it and I will change its name. I'll call it My Event and I will save. And now I will show you how you can add your own presets to this folder. First of all, we need to notice that my folder is currently closed. You can see that the arrow points to the right side and the folder icon is closed. Once I will click on this folder, the icon will change to an open folder and the arrow will point down. This is your indication for an open folder. Once my folder is open, I can add my presets. Simply drag and drop the presets that you want to use and save. Now I can choose if I want to show multi-presets selection screen, and then my guests will be able to choose which preset they would like to experience. I can choose rotate randomly between the multi-presets, and then the software will randomly start a different preset each time. And if I will not select any of those, so the software will run the presets one after the other according to their order in the folder. I will show you now the multi-preset selection screen. Once I'm checking this box, I can add backgrounds to my selection screen. I can change the thumb's width and height, the thumb row and column count, vertical and horizontal center, and vertical and horizontal gap. I will select my event folder in the selected multi-preset, and now I will hit here, Start Multi-Presets, and my selection screen is right here. Now, we can also use nested multi-presets. We already have one ready here. Here we have a folder within another folder. So the wedding folder contains two more folders for the multi-presets. A folder that contains several one vertical photo presets and another folder for 3 vertical photo presets. Now I will select to start the wedding folder. And you can see that I have here two folders. That is my 1V and 3V. You can see here that if I will click on the 1V folder, I have a thumbnail loaded to that folder, which is the thumbnail that we created for this folder. And same thing if I will click on the 3V. I have a different thumb loaded here, and this is it. We can also load a back button for each of those. And once I will click here on the one photo preset, I also have here the back button. I can click on it and choose the 3 photos folder instead. And that's it, simple as that. Now I would like to show you this cool feature called nonlinear workflow. This feature allows us to build a workflow that better fits our needs. A linear workflow will present all of the states, one after the other, according to their order in our workflow tab. But with the nonlinear option, we can have our guests to choose which part of the workflow they want to experience. For example, if I want my guests to select if they want to email their photo or maybe just text it instead. So for this tutorial, I will use this preset, nonlinear preset for email and text. We can also see that by the icons on the preset's thumbnail. Let's go to the workflow tab. And here, after my photo was already taken and after I draw on my photo, I have here my non-linear animation. At this point, the guest will select if he wants to email the photo or text the photo. For our non-linear animation, we will set an event as a next state trigger. And after this animation, we will add 2 feature states, 2 because I have 2 options to select, and they will both be non-linear. The non-linear feature state has 3 types of actions. First one is go to. This action will take you a certain number of states back or forth relative to its location. For example, if I want that this action will take me 2 states ahead, I will write here 2, and -2 if I want the workflow to go 2 states back. Second option is go to state. The go to state action will take you to a specific state number that you define. For example, go to state number 14 will take me directly to this state. And the third option is end workflow. This action will end the workflow and take you back to the first state. So let's understand what will happen once they will be presented with a non-linear email or text animation. So first of all, I would like to show you how this animation looks like. There you go, email or text. Each button here has a predefined action trigger. To simplify it, we made all the animations with the first button on the left to always be set to go to 1, the second go to 2, etc. If the animation includes a done button, the predefined action trigger of that button will always be end workflow. So for this example, as I said, I added 2 non-linear feature states, 1 for each button. And then I can continue and create my workflow in a linear way. First, I set email fab photo animation, email feature, your email is on its way, and I added another non-linear feature that will go 4 states ahead, 1, 2, 3, 4. So after they're emailing their photo, they will be asked how many copies they would like to print, and then they will be able to print their photos, and the workflow is done. If they will select the text, they will be presented with Get Ready to Text Your Creation animation. Then they will be able to text, check your phone animation, and the workflow will continue to the printing option. So how do we set the workflow to choose whether we'd like to use email or text? For the email button, we will have our first nonlinear feature state, go to state number 14. This will take us right here to the email fab photo. But if I will select text, my second nonlinear feature state will have a go to state action to number 18, which is this state right there. So my workflow will skip all of those and will continue directly to number 18. Another option that I could do here is, instead of go to 4 states ahead, to simply end the workflow after they're emailing their photo, and of course delete the printing option. So now, if they will select email, go to state number 14. After they will email their photo, the workflow will end. And if they will select the text, nonlinear, go to state number 18. After they will text their photo, the workflow will end. And that's it. Very simple and very cool.